Welcome to another Chess 24 Blitz Banter. Okay, we're gonna start now. I'm just gonna check my challenges and go to the bottom list. The earliest challenges: early birds catch the worm. I'm the worm. Okay, so Simba, and I'll mute this over here. Okay, let's try a Khan in this first game. Main line. We're going to take here. This is quite a fast-paced 3 minutes game. Oh yeah, the Khan's kind of solid, but sometimes fun. If you castle queenside, you can get some aggressive positions sometimes. Okay, so actually let's defend this for a moment there. Maybe put my king a little bit safer, potentially. So I think CD and knight c5 is interesting. On queen 8, I've had this 5-minute game once where someone played queen h7, got their queen virtually trapped at some point. That was an odd one. Okay, so yeah, this position maybe time to sort of try and blunt the bishop with f6 and e5. I'm tying up a whole rook there. But they could play b4, I suppose, queen b6. I'm holding e6 at the moment, but I'm hoping it could be quite dangerous. Do I get to play e5? There's knight f5. Sometimes white gets the dart squares. Okay, so I'll play queen b6 here. Or is this too dangerous? Am I losing pieces? Try it, I think. Might be hanging some pieces here. Yeah. Okay. This is 2 pawns for the knight. Knight e6, queen c4. Knight e6, rook d1, queen c4. So takes knight e6, rook d1. Is not falling in for that. Okay, that's interesting. There's a knight a4 here, just trying to distract the queen from d4, basically. I mean, bishop, queen a4, bishop d4. Trying to get this bishop to weaken this diagonal. So queen a4, bishop d4. Mind you, there's c5. Getting into this thing again where... Okay, trying to weaken this diagonal. This b4 was a little bit weakening, I think. I hope. Head on the clock here. Right. Okay, so c4 seems vulnerable. Can I just get a rook to the 7th? Right, I'm trying to lay this on. Alright, so this ending 3-2 over there. I put some pressure. This is potentially weak. This pawn here. So maybe b5. I'll try and fix these pawns, or is that too dangerous? I wonder. Okay. Don't suppose e3 is a good idea. Rook h1 is probably threatened. So just probing at the moment. King c3, rook d3. I want to play like f5 and maybe b5. This pawn, I think, is fundamentally going to be a problem. Oh, he's dropped a pawn here. I'll take that one. Hold that position. Oh, the 2-1. I wouldn't have thought. Oh, have I just been conned? in this ending. I've just been conned in this ending, haven't I? Oh, I gotta try and get an active king before it's too late. And we get another ending. Oh dear. Oh, that was a good ending trick I've just fallen for. The only chance is if I can get a draw on time now. Very exciting. But unfortunate for me. Okay. Oh, okay. That wakes me up a bit, that first game. Yeah, fantastic. I thought because I'd won a pawn, Gordon Bennett, a 91 move game, because I'd won a pawn there, I thought I wouldn't mind the exchange. But then again, White's advantage in the ending with this actually fixes both pawns, so it doesn't really matter. That's an interesting point here. That rook c3, it seems, I think rook c3 is very possible, it seems. Yeah, because he's getting a 2-to-1 by force after rook c3. That's a bit of a of a shock. Yeah, because there's a 2-to-1 being created by force. Now, actually, I should have taken. I should have just taken. I shouldn't have allowed the 2-to-1. I think I blundered. I might have blundered there. Yeah. Okay. Next game. Next game. I didn't need to. I think my problem was creating the 2-to-1. Pawn majority there. Okay, Aldisto. Okay, I'm going to play this kind of. So this is a more leisurely 5-minute game. Okay, so c5, maybe then. Okay, my is that going to be dangerous for me? Whoa, yeah. It looks pretty dangerous. Try and keep. I think I'll sack a pawn here to keep the pawn, to keep the rook at bay. I'd rather sack a pawn, actually, in this position. And maybe there's even an f4 idea. Maybe, or maybe not. Okay, so we have this position. Don't want to open this diagonal either. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to try and keep closed. This could be tricky. Bishop g5, c6. Try and keep that closed. At least I'm trying to keep the h file closed, but this diagonal as well is a pain. So bishop h8 and bishop e6. Right, so bishop e6. Oh, there's knight f4. This is a nasty pin. Okay, yeah. Bishop h8. Yeah, knight f5. Let's keep. Right, let's keep this there for a moment. Maybe d5. Can't think queenside there. Huh? Is d5 an idea? Oh, this diagonal's going to be a bit of a pain. open up some more stuff if I can. This C file or not. Yeah, that knight's pretty good. Oh, attacking the queen. Oh, that's interesting, because I can pin this guy. Oh, I'm not getting mated, am I mean, maybe actually C7 was probably better. Why am I going to C5? Made it better slow down a little bit. But yeah, I just thought knight takes D5. That's what I was expecting. Knight takes D5. Alright, queen G6 is the problem. So I got rook G8 trying to repel the queen. Oh, okay. Bishop F7. Rook F5. Oh, that is pretty tricky. Bishop F6. Rook F6. By elimination. I need a move here. Without getting mated. Ooh, Bishop F6. I think Bishop F6. Queen G6. King takes. Rook takes F5. There's Bishop F7 here. Queen G6 is losing material. Okay, a lot of problems here have been set. Don't know how to repel that at the moment. I wonder. I'm going to go into a nasty pin here. This looks like potentially crushing, actually. Alright. I think I need to somehow unpin. I don't know. I think I'm in trouble. So Rook F5 looks really dangerous. Yeah, I'm not sure really too much of a defense coming up here. I'm going to Queen C7 for a moment, but I don't think I can defend this. Queen C7 just doubles. Oh, there's Bishop E8. Hold on. No, I've just blundered the queen. No, that's a bad one. Yeah, try for a cheapo. And just Rook C7. Yeah, I think I'm resigning now. Yeah. Oh, that was crushing. There's a resign button. Okay. Yeah. Well played. Okay. Fenneman. Okay, is Fenneman ready? Okay, we'll abort this game. Let's go to the next challenge, I think. Maybe Fenneman. Oh, about to abort there. Okay, name's the engine. So D4. D4 for knight D4. Okay, knight d5 and queen d5. Oh, it's knight b4 here, might be interesting. Just get that knight square bishop. Oh, that's a problem, isn't it? Oh, bishop b5. I think bishop b5 is okay. Or, I don't know, maybe there's knight d3 check on that pin. Bishop c6 for d4. Or do I need to? I think I need to defend that, yeah. Let's try and cool down e4 here. So I know bishop d6, and that would be okay, I think. Bishop d6, knight g4. Well, okay, it's a nice blockade at the moment. I don't think it's doing anything there, that bishop. So, okay, knight e4, and maybe, like, yeah, after that, queen h4. I mean, there's no, I mean, the knight's, okay, strengthens the center a little bit. Okay, let's go here. I think taking check, rook e6 would be good. Okay, I can sort of pin the knight to h2 for a moment. And bring the rook in, I think, rook e6 to g6. By the way, I forgot to spray my eyes with Actimist. I've got sort of dry eyes. I was going to have a quick spray. I'm not crying or anything. I'm just... Hang on a sec. If you've got dry eyes, Actimist has this thing where you can... you get that from excessive computer use. You can get Actimist. There's a whole range of... Well, in the UK you can get Actimist. I mean, they're pretty good, but yeah, I think I've been on the computer a bit too much recently. Okay, and yeah, I'm suffering a bit from dry eyes sometimes. So, okay, if I can double them bishop c5, or okay, bishop f4. Actually, I missed bishop f4 just then. Yeah, bishop f4 is possible for the pin. Okay, so I wonder d4 or I'll capitalize further on this position. With this past h pawn, or maybe just like okay, play for d4 for rook e2. Actually, yeah, that seems just d4 rook e2 looks pretty good. Trying to crash through here with the doubled rooks seemed very logical. Yes. Or yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe c4 and bishop c5 actually, and then f4 is another approach because. I like the rook's double, the sort of blasting through there, get everything coordinated on e3. So f4 is coming up, I think, here now. Yeah, this looks a little bit more, you know, dangerous for white because f4 f takes. Okay, takes her. Okay, so thanks for the game, Fenneman. Thanks for the game. All right. Okay. Now I've really got to be awake for awake. It's 2460. Okay, let's try. I think I'll try a solid-ish system against my higher rated opponent here. Well, King's Engine. Is he gonna play Greenfield? I've got anti-Greenfield. It's a 3-minute game as well. Play classical. I've got a system I got from Shirov G4. I haven't used that for a while. So black plays very aggressively, but I've got G4. It's a Shirov, an old Shirov system, potentially on F4. And I think I scored reasonably in Blitz over the years with this. If I play G4 here, so it's kind of prophylaxis against black's incoming attack stuff. You can play Bishop D2 E1, although I haven't done that in time here. So I've just allowed Knight H4 check. So this could be pretty dangerous. Yeah, I think I've misplayed it. Okay, he's let me play Bishop E1. I meant to be able to take there. And the idea is like Rook H1, Queen G1, and playing for C5. I actually witnessed a game in this line as well over the board. Jonathan Parker playing white against Andrew Martin in one of the Lloyd's Bet Masters. I think Parker broke through eventually, and it seemed quite nifty. There was, I think, he got his queen to G1, just defensive and also attacking for C5. So this kind of whole prophylaxis plan is also coupled with playing for C5. So we can get to play Queen G1 and play for C5. But yeah, Knight H4, I think I want to be able to snap that off. I want to be able to make sure these piece sacks are not working on G4. But if I can get my queen side play now working, I mean, I love the King's Engine with black, but this is just an interesting. There's so many different interesting systems white has available against the King's Engine. Now I'm playing like this because I want to play A3, B4, and C5. So it looks okay, the plan so far. I haven't been blasted on the king side. But C5 to me is this, I mean, is usually the thematic break for white. Sure, you activating black's rook. It's not usually that big a deal, usually. Let's go for C5 now. So trying to break down black's pawn structure over here. Maybe here rook C2 just to be able to answer Queen B3 with Queen C1. Okay, so there's a bit of infiltration going on here. Maybe over here, just to play Rook B1. I think my advantage is over the Queen side. Has he got an infiltration? All right, for I'll get it. Knight H4 for the Queen coming to G3. So I want to try and stop that. Okay, we got swings and roundabouts here. This infiltration over here or here, very interesting actually. What about, I want CD or C6? Both have some things going for it. All right, now here, interesting. Maybe CD just to sort of, I'm not sure. C6 is also like tempting. What does C6 offer over CD? This 7th rank potentially. Alright, I'm going to go with this. Maybe it's, if I can play for Knight F2, it will batten down the hatches, I think, for H3 check and also sacks on G4. If I get this position, which I'm not, I have to unpin. Okay, can I unravel this? Okay, I can get this position apparently. I feel a bit more solid on G4 now. So that infiltration point In fact, can I blockade here just to stop any h3 stuff? Okay, now can I go down the queen side again? Here is, I want to try and infiltrate on the queen side like b7. I'm hoping to have the advantage there to be able to do this. Rook b7. Alright, so here queen a5, queen a7, queen a5 hits the rook, queen a7 doubles. I'm not sure he's got a sack at the moment. I think I'll get out of the way here. Maybe reinforce e4 and g4 for a moment. Aha, I was hoping that they were reinforced like concrete. There's e7's hanging, yeah. Okay, it's a good one to get. I'm trying to make up from the previous. I'm happy bunny now. Happy bunny. Happy bunny. Sorry, I shouldn't act like that though, but I am. That was a good one because it was thematic. Yeah, check out this STEM game, Parker against Martin. You'll find it. Andrew Martin was black. Parker played like this. Queen G1. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, okay. Let's go to the next. Yeah, we'll play the wake. So, no, not notifications. It's challenges. Okay, Duke Crusher. Yeah. Okay. Hello. That's a good name there, Duke Crusher. It sounds like Kingscrusher almost. You're crushing dukes, are you? Yeah, nobility. Duke Crusher. All right. Okay, yeah, I'm happier than before. I'm sorry, I can't hide the emotion. I cannot hide the emotion after some very early tough games you guys have been giving me today. And I meant to get another. I don't want to make excuses, but I meant to go downstairs to get another Kenko, but it was only like 3 minutes to, and I didn't really get a chance. I felt a bit insecure that I didn't have a coffee next to me. So next time I'm getting loads of coffee cups around just for emotional security. I can drink them. Yes, feeling a little bit insecure, the lack of coffee around here. Unless my brother wakes up, I can call to him to grab me one. Okay, I think he's around. He's just programming, but yeah, I think it's reassuring to have a coffee around. Anyway, so on those little trivia notes, I think Black's released the tension here, so that's good news, I think, for me. It means that I don't have to worry all the time about CD. Okay, so let me see. Okay, E takes. No, actually, I don't want to. Well, one thing I don't want to do is liberate this bishop. Now, Duke Crusher, if you remember, had an epic moment against me last week. He could have fought my queen and king, so I'm not underestimating him. I try not to liberate all his pieces, etc. But that was an epic moment, yeah, and yeah, one which made it even more entertaining last week. So I'm not underestimating Duke Crusher. Trying not to. Okay, the knight, I think. Okay, my knights, I'm going to get them to protect each other here. So like F1, E3 is a nice blockade square and supporting the other knight. So I think that would be a reasonable plan. Knight, I'm not sure knight G7 does much. Maybe it does. But at the moment, I want to reinforce my knights. Okay, reinforcing the knights. Maybe even G4, but there might be H5. G4 and H5. In fact, H5 stops knight G6. And then maybe G4. And then now, I think I'm more comfortable playing for A4 and playing on the queen side. Although this knight F4 could be a pain. Yeah, there's always a bit of trouble here. Alright. Yeah, knight F4 is a bit of trouble. If it goes to D3, I'll probably take it off. If it plays A6, well, I'm going to try and do something over this side of the board, but it does seem pretty locked up. Yeah, it does seem pretty locked up. But if I play this, there's knight b4 maybe. Although my bishop's holding it, I'm just wondering if I can play like this. Bishop d2, queen a1, rook a8 plan. Maybe not. So d5 is protected by the queen. That's fair enough. And what can I do over here? Nothing. Oh, mind you, h6. Hold on. I think I'm playing on the wrong side of the board here. If I just play knight g2, isn't h6 vulnerable? If I play bishop h6, that is a passed pawn. It also protects against knight f4 infiltrations. Maybe bishop h6, bishop f4 check. I don't mind swapping off a pair of rooks. This is a concern. Knight takes b4. But I thought it's protected. Anyway, it's a protected rook. But he might have a pawn avalanche or something, I guess. Although, yeah, I don't mind that. There's bishop d6 here. Maybe to put this bishop on g3 or something. It does support knight d6 after if I played bishop g3. Okay, so I can get this knight back, and I'm holding f4 here. So knight e3, and maybe queen b1, king g2. I think I've got to try and hold these pawns a little bit. Okay, so what's the plan? Like queen b1, knight e3, king g2, and try and hold the pawns. No rook g3 at the moment, no knight d4 at the moment. So I think knight e3 is a nice centralizer. I don't mind. I've just blundered my queen, haven't I? Muppets. No! Okay, apart from that little technical detail I've missed, it's fine. I'm still going to get an H pawn. Little technical detail. I think I'm going to get my H pawn. I'm still happy. I'm sort of happier from earlier getting that other piece, but I don't know. I'll feel okay if I have knight f5 and h6. Not ideal. I mean, you know, I didn't go out my way to lose my queen there, just for entertainment. Okay, so but rook h1, h6. I have got a passed pawn here, and it seems pretty solid over here, like Fort Knox with these knights. So h6, h7, yeah, his pawns are pretty good as well. So are they actually quicker than mine? It could be the case. b2, c2, c3, yeah, maybe I should take, and then rook b1. These pawns are like too dangerous. Mind you, b2, bishop c2. So hold on a sec. I don't mind. Maybe I don't mind a knight sack to get rid of the pawns over here. I'm threatening h8 now. Right. So bishop d6 to c5. Am I weakening myself? Am I losing my pawn? As rook h6 for rook f6, trying for some sort of attack. Yeah, this is a little bit far from ideal. What's happened? it's slightly not ideal. Yeah. Okay. Funny enough, but I'll grab this pawn, and then I'll have to sack this knight. Oh, there's queen h7. Hang on, there's rook h6 there. Alright, so bishop d6 to c5, trying for some sort of attack with a few pieces around. Bishop c5, rook f8. Okay, now, is there a mate threat or something? I've got rook c8 for knight d6. Okay, that saves bacon, I think. Yeah, a rook h2 is not quite a mate threat, but just in case. Oh yeah, very dramatic game. I think you nearly had me again. You basically, we're having some comedic moments in our games, Duke Crusher. Comedic. Yeah. It's very interesting. Our encounters. Yes. Thanks for the game. So Moby. Okay. So right. That was good queenside infiltration, actually. I mean, credit where credit's due. I mean, it's the queenside infiltration provided the rook a1 tactic. So I just missed that. This is not okay at the moment. This is not my ideal Nimzovich defense position. It's a little bit. I'm a little bit happy with it now, in some respects. Like bishop d7. Okay, bishop d6 for knight g4. Yeah, I think because of the absence of the knight, and this one's going there. Okay. Yeah, if this knight's going there, I think that would be maybe a good idea. Okay, it's not. So I'm happy with h2 possibilities now. It's just it should be there. I think it should be here, not there. So this looks like dangerous to me because I've also got this f file. So I think I've got enough for my whatever I've sacrificed. Okay, so we double knight g4. If I double knight g4, take on f1, then that's possible. So this f file looks like interesting. Knight g4 is already interesting after bishop b2 or here. There's even an idea of bishop h2 to pick up the queen, rook f1, queen f1, bishop h2 to pick up, to avoid losing both rooks there. So I'm on e3 and h2. I think there's enough dynamic pressure. That's the kind of thing I like, just a bit of dynamic pressure and blitz for a pawn, and some sort of tactic like this. It celebrates that trump card, doesn't it really? So knight e3 can be followed by bishop f4. So I think that's pretty cool. Queen d4, bishop f4. If rook f4, rook f4, f1's like a problem, I think. All right, or rook f4 here. Coming up, this looks like I'm crashing through a bit. Yeah, I'm happy with this, clearly. So I'm threatening mate now. I think just check bishop e5 to d4 is crushing after g3. Thanks, Moby, thanks. Yeah, I got a bit of pressure there. Knight killer. Okay. Knight killer. Is knight killer around? Alright, I'll play this line, which I've had some good results with. The exchange French with knights, this c4. Someone introduced me to this system. It's interesting. He said, I think Kasparov has played it. It's once as a surprise weapon, and so it's like a line which is not so well known, but potentially quite dangerous, and maybe even exotic possibilities here. of castling queenside sometimes. So yeah, I think this is an interesting position. I mean, already here knight e5 is pretty dangerous for f7. So knight e5 might have been on the cards there. Knight g5 here is probably a little bit annoying. I'm not sure if it's worth playing. Okay, probably I'm just going to do this. I like my center. Okay, yeah, he's pushed me off this diagonal. Okay, I have to go on this diagonal, I think. Bishop e6, queen. Okay, now this f file. Hold on. I don't mind knight e3. I'm going back with a vengeance on f7, I think. On knight e3, f takes, something like bishop c4. I'll have extra firepower potentially on f7. Okay, so can I encourage knight e3? I wonder. And there's nothing to get this blockade out of the way if he doesn't take on e3. Okay, pressure on b7. Knight's holding bishop, so maybe this is possible at the moment. So just switch to d3. If I switch to d3, then maybe like c4 later, and it's not so bad. I think I'll enjoy the dynamic play after knight e3 on the f file. So bishop d3 and maybe kick the knight with c4, not minding knight e3, fe. Yeah, I wouldn't mind, I think. So that's interesting. Bishop d3, c4. And at the moment, yeah, I think that's my major thing. If the knight went back to e7, maybe like f4, rook f3 to h3. So this is the plan, I think. c4, knight e7, f4, rook f3, h3. Just start probing this pawn chain. Okay, I need to try and undermine it somehow. I don't think he's going to take there, because then immediately the knight's loose on f6. So knight e7, that's a nice blockade square there on f5. So what to play here? Do I worry about that? Maybe bishop f4 seems okay. I'm trying to harass the queen a bit, maybe. Knight g6 immediately threatened. Bit of pressure on c6 here and on the queen side. Or I can indirectly, or can I defend this pawn indirectly? Maybe I should just directly defend the pawn with queen c3, because my bishop's loose. If rook d1, queen e4 is on f4, so I'm wondering queen c3 here. Actually, that echoes f6 as well. If there's d5 later, maybe f6 is a bit looser. For example, d5. Well, okay, make a move here. I got to make sure d4 is not dropping off. But this diagonal seems interesting. I don't think knight e4 is devastating. I think. There. Okay, the c6 pawn's hanging. Can I not just take that? I think I'm gonna be tempted, because d5 I'm opening up the diagonal, and there might also be later, if the knight wasn't protecting h6, bishop h6. So this position, let's see, queen c8, d5. So I'm on the knight. I want to eventually play, maybe the dark squares are good eventually. Just, I don't know, g4 is too weakening. I'm not going to play g4. I'm not that crazy at the moment. Okay, so I could have gone to b2 actually. Oh, mind you, g4, though I mentioned that was crazy earlier, here it might actually win material. It needs to be calculated. You don't really want to move pawns around the king. But g4, knight h4, bishop d6, queen g4. There's rook g3, knight f3, king h1. I'm not entirely sure this is losing, so I'll give it a punt. just to stop the knights protecting each other. Maybe I should take on e7 first. I'll take this. So there's rook g3, queen g4, rook g3. Doesn't seem like, I thought the knight was going to hang around to help the queen there. Actually, I was expecting more danger. Alright, well, bishop g3 here looks pretty secure for the moment, because there's also this pass pawn now. If I just play d6, d7, and then unblockade later with rook e1 to e8. So I think d6, d7 is pretty good here. Okay, it's like Fort Knox now, basically. I mean, if he takes here, that's fine. d6, d7. I keep mentioning Fort Knox. Sorry, I haven't tried to break into Fort Knox or anything. I'll just mention it as a sort of metaphor for a secure area. Okay, so queen e7. It's good for king safety, I think. Maybe to think like that. How secure is it around the king? It's pretty secure. So I want to play just d7 and rook e8. But when you play a move like g4, yeah, you're asking for trouble generally speaking. You've really got to like calculate if it really works in that particular position. So king f8, bishop d6. I think that's sufficient here. Rook d7 I'm taking with check. Rook e8 check threatened. Okay, thanks, knight killer. Okay, so Moritz Janowski. Okay, so hello, Moritz Janowski. Let's try a Scotch game. I've been meaning to try and learn more theory on the Scotch game, actually. It's an interesting little... It's Kasparov's sort of got a bit of attention to it recently in the recent Blitz games. So, yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. Well, this position with that pin is interesting because the bishop's over there, so I think this pin's pretty handy here. I think I can get away with queen f3. Now bishop g4, I can either shift my queen or even take on g4. E5 takes queen c6 on the rook. Okay. Bishop g4 is not winning the queen yet, so this is like creating some weaknesses. Surely that might be a bit of fun later. Bishop c5, okay, queen's getting harassed. Knight a4 might be interesting here. To stop any bishop b4, there's c3. I think knight a4, bishop b4, c3, bishop b6. Maybe okay. This position fascinating. Knight b2 to c4 or e5. I think knight b2 to c4, trying to reroute the knight. Okay, try and play for trapping the bishop at the moment. So a5 threatens. Maybe I'm going to get a passed pawn after a5, knight c4 takes. There's a passed a pawn trump card there, which could be handy. So there's already a little bit of benefit from that. Do I want the rook on the a file? Maybe, or rook b1. Rook b1 seems plausible. So pressure on f2. As knight a5, is that vaguely annoying to play like this? For c6. Oh, there's bishop c3. Just missed bishop c3. Whoops. Knight c6 here, bishop c3. Okay. There's rook c1. A takes rook b4. No, he's distracting me away from f2. So I'm under pressure. I don't want to lose too many seconds here. But it does seem like pressure. I'll go like this. Yeah. I'm going to take on b8 actually. I've got a passed pawn there. So if I can bishop e1, knight b8, maybe without an f2 disaster where I put my queen. Well, I've got passed pawns here. So I don't mind taking out this bishop because my passed pawns look good. It's supported by the juicy knight. a5, a6. It looks good. I think the passed pawn potential. They're getting a bit more aggressive now. The knight's supporting that. Yeah. I don't mind this, the exchange down here, because of my pawns at the moment. It's a7. It's going to sack the exchange with rook c6 and rook a7. So I'm going to be careful about how I allow an exchange sack, a counter exchange sack. I mean, queen a4 here. Okay, c4. Okay, queen d5, queen d5, checked, takes, rook b5, knight c7. Alright, that's intriguing. If takes in knight e7 for queen a8, I've still got the passed a pawn, but here, intriguing. So rook b5, knight c7. I'll still have a passed a pawn. So attacks. I think I have to get my exchange back. Try and stop the king infiltrating. Gotta get my king up the board. As h6 could be vulnerable. He's going to have two pawns over here. Okay. Try and create a pass pawn over here. No, he has three connected pass pawns now after f takes. This might not have been like the cleverest idea ever that I've had. I'll give this up for h6, for rook e6. Trying to use my f pawn before these avalanche me. These pawns avalanche me, and I'm also down on the clock. So rook e6. Try and get this f pawn. I think it has to go to the rescue. f6 for rook e7. No. Rook e4, is that threatened? Alright, f6, trying to balance his pawns. Yeah, he just does that. I think I'm doomed. It looks pretty doomed. Hold on. I'm still 40 seconds down on the clock. This f-pawn's probably not helping that much. Here against three connected pass pawns. I've got no extra pass pawn. Can I just stop his pawns for a moment? No extra pass pawn potential. I'm just waiting for him to the king go in front of the pawn. Right. Can I play for rook e8? $30. Can I blockade with king d3? I've taken one of the pawns out. Ah. Okay. $24. I get both pawns. King b2, rook d1, if c2, rook d2 with a pin. Yeah, the 3 pawns should have beaten me there. That was just some sort of weird miracle. Thanks. Thanks, Moritz. Yeah, I don't know. That was just, I don't know, just trying to play to hold the pawns, basically. Wasn't really expecting anything other than potentially a draw. Yeah. So a bit of luck in this session, as usual. Yeah. Okay, is Adanax ready? Is he ready? Is he ready? Okay, I'll give him like 10 seconds. 1 elephant, 2 elephants, 3 elephants, 4 elephants, 5 elephants, 6 7 8 9. Okay, I'll get on to the next challenge. We can challenge later anyway. Okay, far away from hell. Okay, let's play d4. I think I'd rather play d4 against plats around my rating here, to be a little bit more on the solid side. Solid in inverted commas. Yeah. Okay, what's happening here? What's happening? Is this guy ready? Is this guy ready? Alright. Okay, I hope you can challenge later. Okay, go for the 10 elephants again. 1 elephant, 2 elephants, 3 elephants, 4 elephants, 5 elephants, 6 elephants, 7 elephants, 8 elephants. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's about 10 elephants now. Okay, so okay. Azure Mist. Hi, Azure Mist. Okay, I've got a game. I'll play French defense on this occasion. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna make it a gambit, which no one's ever seen before. Just for a bit of fun. I don't really like exchange Frenches. Oh, he's not accepting the gambit. Okay, we have sort of Nimzo-Indian now. Possession by transposition. So this is some crazy looking position. D takes, Queen D4, E takes. It's a fun position. I'm hoping just to have some active piece play, but away from the French defence. Exchange positions. Okay, it's not happening. Okay. It's a little bit Nimza Indian. It's a little bit with the C4 move being played. Isolate the pawn here. So knight c4. If bishop c4, then there's knight d4. On knight c4, I think I'm comfortable, sort of. Maybe just bishop e6, knight d5. A nice blockade. Potentially. What about, I don't know, bishop d5. Don't have to worry about any pin or anything at the moment for the knight. Without the dark square, bishop's on the board. So what about just bishop d5, queen going somewhere later, d7 to g4, queen, bishop d5 for a moment. Okay, so there's almost knight d4. If I had a rook on here, I'm thinking knight d4. This is not as fragile. This is more fragile than it might seem with the queen there. Knight d4, knight d4, rook e5. It seems a little bit fragile. Okay, he's doing something about that. Now queen d5 looks aggressive on white's king side. Queen d5. Blockade. There's bishop c4. There's queen h5. Queen h5. Knight g4 h3. Can I not just take this? Knight d5. I'm not losing a piece if I take that, I assume. If takes and takes, I've got taking on f3. This looks good because knight f4, knight g2 coming up to weaken f3. f7's protected, thankfully. Even if it, I mean, I have a4 as well here, but knight f4 seems good. There's no rook d7, so I think I'm threatening knight g2. Mind you, bishop f7 there. It might actually be worth getting rid of this battery to be able to play knight g2 without hassle of bishop f7, messing that tactical stuff up. Also, if I can nudge the queen to a2, then f3 is a bit weakened. So if the queen comes off the battery pressure, I think a4, it's protected by the bishop. So wherever the queen goes, it's interesting, I think, to check out knight g2. Yeah, there's queen g4 and bishop f3. In any case, even though the queen's protecting f3, so knight g2 here is interesting. Don't know if there's any stronger moves. I think I'll go with knight g2. It seems logical for the sort of trump card pressure of being on f3 here and that nasty pin. So queen g4 for bishop f3. On bishop f7, yeah, that does interfere. So if queen f7, yeah. Well, in that case, well, there's other stuff. Here there's knight e1. There's just knight takes e1. Yeah, I think knight takes. There might be stronger with white's king side weakened. But, oh, he's on f7. Oh, that's the point. Yes, do I want to blunder my queen again? Let's see if I can intentionally blunder the queen. Knight e1, bishop f7, queen f7, knight f7, knight f3 check, king f1, knight h2, knight f3, king g2. There's no discovered check winning the queen. There's rook e5 here. If rook e5, that takes. If queen e5, that's the downer. Queen e5. Another quick look. I'll just spend 30 seconds here. Any other resources? Interesting tactical position. We're both at each other's throats here. Maybe simply rook e7. There's knight c6 and king takes g2. Rook e5, queen e5. Okay, I don't want to lose on time either, particularly. I think I'll go with that because I think I've got some compensation there with the weakened king. So if takes, takes. If takes, I think I'm taking off a knight h4. Rook e7, there's things like knight f3, king f1. Well, it's just, yeah, the rook. Yeah, I had to take with the queen. I had to take with the queen. That's just losing. It's just losing. Yeah, it has to take with the queen. It's an let's have a quick butchers on this position. What is the? Actually, I've turned off engine view. Actually, for this other thing, let me see. Show computer analysis. Oh, sorry, analysis. Pardon me. Black's winning with rook e7. I thought there was a problem with this. Knight c6. Rook e1. Oh, is this position just knight takes e1? Okay, okay. And I just want to just check something here. This is terrible, isn't it? Because of queen e5. Oh, it's not terrible. Apparently there's queen... I don't know if you can see this. Queen g6. There's queen g6 here. Because, yeah, white's kingside's been compromised. Okay, maybe that was okay then, rook e5. Technically, it was okay, but obviously, as a human, you've got to find the moves to prove that. So it's interesting. Thanks for the game, as almost. Old shaking. I thought, yeah, a move like knight takes g2 is piercing, like king safety. So even if you get it wrong slightly later, I think there's always like once you've damaged king safety, but it had to be taken with the queen to stay in the game. So old shaky. Is old shaky around? Oh, old shaky. Maybe 5 elephants instead of 10. 1 elephant, 2 elephants, 3 elephants, 4 elephants, 5 elephants. Okay, you can challenge me later anyway. Okay, old but gold. Hello, old but gold. Oh, I'm sorry. Old shaky game not coming out. Have we got a technical issue today? Sorry, it's been happening quite a bit today. Oh, I figure. Okay, I got a few challenges to make somehow. I don't know why that's happening. Then old shaky. Sorry, I have no idea what's happening. Is there anybody technical from Chess24 that can check that out? Is there some issue at the moment? No, I mean I just wondered. Sorry. Okay. I'll try and challenge you after this. Okay. Did you want like a 3-minute game or a 5-minute game? Or can you challenge me again? Or challenge me again, and I'll make sure Old Shaky is the next one on the list. You have to tick which checkbox? Sorry. Sorry, me. You have to tick the chat box. Sorry, what chat box? Christian, what chat box? I'm missing use of some chat box. Tick the chat box. I thought you usually just click accept challenge. Okay, I'll make sure. Okay, if there's any tick box. 3-1, interesting increment. What tick box have I been missing? Sorry. Oh, sorry, they have to do a chat box saying bring the game up automatically. All right, so it's not something I've missed necessarily when accepting a challenge. All right. Oh, sorry. Okay, so when you challenge me, make sure you click tick the chat box. Yeah, guys. Apparently, some of you have not been ticking the chat box. Naughty. You've not been ticking today. The chat box. Some of you guys. Okay, I'm getting done over on F3. Am I? Premium challenges only, please. That's how this Blitz Banter works. So King B1, Knight G1, F3. No, hang on. I have to unpin. Rook E1, Knight G1, F3. If he's going to give me a chance. If he takes here, I'm wondering Bishop could be useful later. Okay, so I'll try unpinning to test this if I'm going to be able to play Knight. Or maybe just Knight D2 is more sensible. Okay. Blockade time on F4, is it? Knight to F5 plan. Knight D1, E3 to F5. He's giving me this G file. Although the structure, it's trade-off situation. The structure versus like potential dynamic play. So I'm hoping Knight E3 to F5 is fun. I'm not sure I should be bothered about A4 Knight B3 at the moment. Right, so that's useful for Knight F5 at some point. Not immediately. Maybe King B1's handy to avoid problems with D3. Yes, strong blockade strategy from my opponent here. So this bishop is being killed at the moment. Can I try and liberate it? Knight G2, try and get rid of this blockader. To put the bishop somewhere like H3. Put the bishop on H3. I don't mind dropping the H pawn. There's kings behind that. So I'm hoping to have some tactical ideas. Am I getting blockaded again? It could be the case I'm getting blockaded again. Am I dead on the door now here? I just double rooks. I want double rooks for a moment. To play rook H4, kick the blockade away. Oh, Queen C1 might be mating if my rook and queen are not on C1 later. Yeah, it's a question about these blockades. Takes F4, EF, E5 takes. Losing a lot of pawns there for not much. I don't have to lose the pawns though. I can. I'm trying to liberate this bishop. F5. I mean, is rook f4, that's what I mean. I didn't have to lose all the pawns there, just to liberate the bishop. So f5 takes rook e5, f4, rook moves e5 takes f5. I can undouble the pawns here. Sure. Ah, there's knight e3. Maybe it's better just to play f5 for a moment. Bishop f1, bishop e2, that sort of thing. Try and put some pressure on. Oh, there's a nice pin here. Okay, I can double the opponent's pawns, try and get rid of some pressure. Threatening rook h5. Well, he's got b2 in target. I'll play this for rook c3. c4 is a bit vulnerable. There's rook b1 and rook b8. How would you defend c4 as I'm switching attack? These pawns are slightly fragmented now. Okay, I'll take on g6 first because I don't want to end up losing that pawn. I think because the pawns are fragmented. Okay, rook c4 is interesting. Rook a4 coming up. Okay, I've got some passed pawns to play with. So b4, a4, that sort of thing. Alright, I'll bring this guy, fragments the pawns a little bit more. Yeah, it looks as though my opponent's got 6 million passed pawns actually. I've only got this a pawn, but I'm going to start pushing it. It's not the number of pawns you got, guys, it's what you do with them. Apparently, if this session shows anything. Alright, so yeah, it blunders the rook. Only 2 seconds there. Alright, yeah, nice blockade strategy there, fails. A bit blockaded. Yeah, and that was a good game, yeah. Okay, Christian ZZZ. Hello. That nickname feels sleepy, the ZZZ. I think that's been used in magazines for people sleeping. I'll put the queen here. Alright, so I'm happy with this now because it looks as though this is a comfortable position. Bishop d2 to c3. Well, there's bishop b5 here tactically because queen b5, knight c7. Yeah, don't underestimate the pretty knights in the center are also tactically dangerous as well. They have a lot of tactical stuff going on when you get a knight in the center. So queen takes, knight c7. Finally, I've won someone's queen instead of losing my own queen. Okay, thanks for the game, Christian. Yeah. Old Shaky. Now you've got the tick box. You did the tick box this time. Let's try D4. Let's mix things up with E4 and D4. I think. I'll take that. And E3. And E3, this is what I don't like being played against me, basically, in the Albin counter gambit. I hate this when it's played against me. Yeah, so seeing the white side of it, it's kind of nice because there's nice D5 control. Knight C3, Knight D5 looks already kind of juicy, in fact. Yeah, I've used the Albin counter gambit perhaps too much, and I think actually my one regret is not that. It's if you do play a gambit system, you might as well pick up any relevant books on it. I did so with the Budapest, and I think it's no surprise actually that, you know, I'm aware of some of the key maneuvers in the Budapest, like Rook A6 to H6, some of the more outrageous stuff, and sometimes that's going to work against not super strong GMs, but I've beaten some IMs at least with Budapest. But I'm wondering, any gambit systems, although they're fun, it's better if you get any relevant book on it, just to make sure you're not missing out on key ideas. Because I mean, the beauty of playing offbeat stuff in general is you'll be more sometimes prepared than the opponent, but to really get that advantage, okay, there's Knight B5 here as well. To really get that, I recommend get a book as well, just to make sure you're going to have fun. But there's definitely some books on Budapest, at least one book on the Budapest Gambit. And there must be one, I haven't really checked recently, there must be one on the Albin counter gambit. And play Rook D1 here. Oh no, Bishop G7. This is interesting actually. Black's going to get back his pawn. So Bishop F4. The knight's nice stags, it can't be chased with A6. So I wonder just about Bishop F4 now. Does anyone know? Is there any books on the Albin counter gambit? I might get one and try and play it again. No, actually, how am I supposed to play it? I think players like Morozevich, they're well prepared, when they play stuff like that. I'll try and clamp down on G5. This is quite a fast-paced game. Was this a 3-minute game out of interest? Only 1 minute 47 left. Yeah, I'm still happy with this position. It seems as though I'm not playing the role of the gambiteer here. But on the other hand, I enjoy the juicy squares that seems to be available. Okay. Maybe Knight G5, taking this bishop out, because then G3, bishop H3. There's also some ideas, maybe C5 for bishop C4 is also interesting, I think. There's even an idea of Knight D6 potentially. So bishop C4, Knight D6, ED is fascinating probably. To consider Knight D6, Rook D2, Knight D6, CZ, ED, King F8. So in this position, it's like more passed pawns. I'm tempted, actually. This crazy stuff. I'm tempted by this crazy stuff. It's just unfortunately, I love this sort of stuff. Well, fortunately or I don't know, unfortunately, because it seems to connect some pawns up. It breaks the rooks. I'm already a pawn up, so it's like a piece set for 2 pawns. It's maximizing my dynamic play. On the other hand, am I just asking for trouble? I could be just asking for trouble. Knight c3. There's bishop f7 potentially for, well, there's bishop c6 here. Getting back an exchange at least, or the knight. I mean, I've caused some practical problems probably with the piece sack. It's a nice pin, bishop d7, rook d3. Or a nice pin here. Or is it? Check. Okay. Or playing for rook e8. Or knight f7, bishop f7. Yeah, I was too tempted by that. Thanks for the game, old shaky. Okay, Simon Tricks. Okay, I'm playing, let's see, just sort of classical at the moment, e5, bishop c5. Classical sort of piece development. Kessim and Donov made a DVD about Albion for experts. Okay. Yeah, because sometimes, yeah, you want to know the resources in these surprise lines more than the opponent for sure, right? Knight d4, maybe for bishop d4, or just keep some more tension in the game by maybe keeping the knight on and playing for f5, maybe h6, f5, f4. Do I want to take that? Maybe I do. I don't want to allow knight g5 to e6 necessarily, giving my opponent a bit of dynamic play here. The centre pawns are not so bad. I know that they're often not so bad. Oh, I think I've underestimated my opponent slightly. I didn't expect that tactic. It's interesting. Maybe I've got to get my king off this diagonal. I didn't even see the tactics, but I wasn't checking out for that tactic in particular anyway. Okay. C6. Yeah, maybe just to make sure I'm not losing C7 at the moment. So some pressure building up. Try and hold f5. Or is that not happening? Oh, I'm under great pressure here. Okay, I think I'll sack this pawn. Hope for the best. It looks like I'm under pressure. Heat is on. I wonder rook e8 and then king g7, maybe e4 later. Well, definitely king g7, just to make sure my queen's protected, and then maybe h5. If takes, okay, so h5 takes rook h8. Try and use this h file. No, I didn't expect that. Wow, this is exotic. Is the idea rook g6 or just f6? Alright, just f6. I'll give back the bishop. I'm just seeing that if I move the queen, there's f6. Oh, cripey. Thinking of other words as well. Trying to give back this bishop. It's not taking it. Resigned? Have I got to move here? I think I'm losing, aren't I? What does the engine say? White's winning. Wow, okay. Okay, on to the next challenge. Yeah, I think there's some very interesting tactics there. Very interesting. A WCM. Hello, WCM. I would say the name, but I'm not brilliant at pronunciation, as some people know. Theodora is the first one, I think. Blue. Okay, I hope that's good enough. Yeah, I'm not going to say it again. So this is a 3-minute game. So bishop b7, rook d8. Seems logical, but also, you know, I might just want to play bishop g4 or bishop h3. The Greek Olympiad team seems a lot stronger than the Cyprus team. My parents are originally from Cyprus. The Cypriot team seem to be less than 2200s. I think my Greek Cypriot friends, we could have formed an Olympiad team for Cyprus. Which is stronger than the current one, I think. Because I've got a few friends all over, well, around 2200. But the Greek team's pretty strong in the Olympiad. Can I just double the rooks here for a moment? So I double the rooks, and yeah, I think well, this is a 3-minute game. I think just to have more harmony in the pieces and double rooks and basic sort of stuff, make sure your pieces are not unprotected as a kind of prophylaxis against tactical disasters. I don't want to use d8 yet. Okay, maybe safeguard this and rook d8. So they're trying to keep things protected. Okay, do I mind the exchange of rooks necessarily? This pin is interesting. Bishop a6. Potentially, I think it could be... although, does it backfire? It takes to knight b6. Well, there's bishop e2, knight b6, bishop f3. I'm not sure it backfires, the knight b6. Well, close. Bishop e2, knight e7, bishop f3. Yeah, the weaknesses over here are evident. Now bishop d3, rook d3, queen d3, knight a5, b3, knight b. No, there's no rook d3 there. Probably not. So this position, I don't think this works. Can I? Okay. Knight a5 I'm tempted for when I get a chance. Or keep the queen on the light squares. Queen e7, queen e8. Now knight a5, b3, I'm going to take and double the pawns. I'm still on a4, but that's protected at the moment. Knight e5 here, queen e2. Yeah, that looks like an interesting move anyway. Queen e2 is not ideal, surely. This pin cannot be ideal. But I don't know how to exploit it at the moment. White is pretty solid. Okay, I'll take here. There's another pin. Now, on the e5 there's f5. Maybe I need to improve this guy for a moment. And now that is a tactical vulnerability, but maybe this diagonal now is a bit of fun to be had with queen b7. Trying to blast through this diagonal. Knight d6 is unfortunate. If I can prepare queen b7, can I get rid of this knight? There's no knight f7 at the moment. I think queen f7 is sufficient. Right, so knight d6. There's queen d8 on ed. This pawn might be dangerous though. Yeah, this pawn might be dangerous. Oh. Okay, I'll try and get these pass pawns working. Do I worry? Hold on. No. Okay, thanks for the game there. Okay, get some more challenges. Cool. Sidbites, SD, I'm not sure how to pronounce that anyway. Close enough, I hope. Playing another Scotch game, which I need to get a book on. Although I might have an ancient book on the Scotch game, which probably I should just get a new one about. So, okay. C3. I crushed an IM recently in the Scotch game, which was quite entertaining for me. I castled queenside, so it was quite an entertaining game. I'm not sure about this setup here. Can I try and castle queenside? Not really. Queen c2 and castle queenside. G-file. So queen c2 and castle queenside, I think. Black's pieces are a little bit active. Maybe I should get the queens off, be boring. After the f5, I'm just wondering, try and just keep solid with f3 here. Yeah, this is definitely changing the nature of the game. Actually, the c5 pawn. Why not just take on c5? Next, well, maybe it's okay to. I could have considered that. I need to slow down. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere immediately. The c5 pawn, that seems a good setup for c5. I'll take now. Alright, so knight e6 for the light square bishop. I think I'm okay. I'm happy with the light square bishop here, because the knight hasn't got d4. If the knight had entrenchment areas like d4, I'd be less than happy. It's not just about being a pawn up. I just want to make sure my bishop versus knight is not terrible. Maybe there's rook d1 to parry doubling of rooks. Rook d1 here supporting that bishop, supporting that, neutralize the rooks, doubling of rooks. I don't want entry point on the 7th rank. Okay, so king e2 here, knight f5, bishop d5 maybe. I'm happy with the position. Could I actually win the endgame here if I play rook d1? Well, it's rook h. I think it could be tricky, you know, the ending. So I'm wondering g3, just trying to. I'll just try and infiltrate with my rook somewhere. h4, fg, hg. Just activate this rook. There's a balancing out. You gotta like. Okay, so I've got an active rook now on the 7th. So I think I made the right decision to keep the rooks on just then instead of rook d1. I suspect. I mean, so far it looks as though I've made the right decision there. g4 here, almost like rook f7 is dangerous. I think g4. I don't want to give e5 to the knight if I took. So g4 seems okay. Hold things down for a moment. Rook f7 is winning a piece. I'll just take the knight next. Thanks for the game. Cheers. Okay, next challenge, Crescendium. Let's try d4. And I've got this gambit system, which hasn't gone in for. I'll gambit on c4 to get a broad center. still do that. I just want active, aggressive pieces. And he took on c4. So I've had some success with this gambit in the past. So idea like h3, bishop e3, knight e5, f4. The idea of broad pawn center, and then maybe like later rook d1. There's even a game of Anand where he almost like uses the same concept. But I think he like doubled and played for d5 break. So I think this concept has been used in by decent GMs of the pawn sack for playing for d5 as an example. I'll play for that here. So black's clinging onto that pawn, but at some cost at the moment, I think. a4, this knight's shaky. a5, d5, it hits the knight. The knight's kind of shaky there. Okay, so the question about this pawn now, can I even try and grab it? In fact, I'll play like this, maybe for a6. Maybe bishop g5, this h6, but otherwise e5 is threatening to win a piece. If h6, the bishop could move back. There's also an idea, bishop f4, knight e5. The thing is, knight e5 earlier, I would have threatened to take the pawn. Yeah, I think I've gone a little bit wrong, but anyway. I don't want to lose my a pawn in a hurry. That's fragmenting black's pawns though. I don't think he wants to do that. I think he'd rather play b5. d5, I guess, is not clever. Let me see. There's knight g4 check as well. I think knight e5 takes. There's knight d7 to c5. Going back to d5. a6, knight b8, knight e5, there's b5. I just try and play more dynamic, just b3. Just blast a few more lines at them with b3, I think. I'll make it a real pawn sack. Fragmented pawns, but my e4's weak. Knight g1 to e2, is that any good in the circumstances? I just want to make sure that I'm not losing e4. Rook d1 might be better because rook b8, queen c2. I don't mind black's fragmented pawns here. I know I'm like pawn or two down, but these are fragmented, and so knight e2. There's knight c4. He's going to be strengthening my center a bit more. We took that, and also a5 is vulnerable. I wonder rook b7 if I got the chance, which I'm not. Alright, knight c1 to get more pressure on a5. I'm not losing the center just yet, I hope. Maybe bishop f4 to chase the rook to take this. I want to win a5 and maybe a7 after that. Now bishop f4, rook b3, knight b3. Yeah, does he move like rook? Where does he move the rook? Or is he taking on d4 after? I'm not sure. Bishop f4. Okay, that strengthens my d4. These pawns are still heavily fragmented. So what is he doing at a5? I'll blockade here. Where's the... Yeah, I'll take on a7. Don't need to. I don't think I need to blockade. a7 next. This bishop is not too brilliant, I hope, in this structure. Alright, so e5, c5. Why not just take on a7? c5 is a bit destructive, I guess. Rook d7 for knight c5, is that crazy? Probably unnecessary. Maybe just e5, c5. Then he's on this knight on c3. I'll do it because I can get the knight away. Maybe knight e4. And c4 there's a passed pawn, knight c1. Get a knight to d6. I don't know. It's going to get tricky. Whatever happens. If he wants the passed pawn, maybe with c4. Okay, knight c1, temporary blockader, not ideal. But knight d6, the bishop is nice on the diagonal. Hitting e8 here. Tactically, this looks strange. King f8, is there something going on here? I can blockade this. Or knight b5 trying to win material. Now knight b5. There's no rook b7, so rook a7 next. Thanks for the game, Chrysanium. Interesting dynamic. Interesting dynamic compensation. I've got a question there about playing on PlayChess. Yeah, I play on other sites occasionally, but I've also got a Tuesday show on that server. So any other challenges? Or okay, it's 2:22, so I've nearly played for a couple of hours and exhausted challenges. This might be a time to say I hope you enjoyed this week's session. There's been some interesting games, I think, really quite interesting games. And thanks for coming. Yeah, comments, questions, likes, appreciated. So thanks for coming, guys, and thanks for chatting on stream. And yeah, see you next week. Have a good week. Thanks very much.